there's a lot of things on defense that happen, but offensively, it's all. I feel like it's almost unfair. Like some of the improvements that they made, the guys that they have already that's going to be on the offensive line uh, got to play, and they got nasty in them. Which you get nasty offensive linemen. That's half your problem solved.
Mm-hmm.
And then you bring in a tight end from Alabama that's a possession speed tight end with Texas's ability to have people run the seam and the out. Like that's going to be an unbelievable weapon, along with bringing in Golden from Houston, who I think didn't he have like 50 catches and 300 yards and 8 touchdowns against Texas?
It felt like it, didn't it?
Man, it felt ridiculously awful watching him just eviscerate our secondary. And now he's going to be added to the equation. The kid that we talked about from Morgan State yesterday, I don't know if I've seen Texas have somebody like him. Probably, golly, it's been a while. I mean, I wouldn't say Eric Metcalf like, but just if you can be under the shade tree of Eric Metcalf,
Mm-hmm.
then that's awesome. Yeah. And Ramon Taylor comes to mind. Guys that you throw them the ball in the flats and they just disappear. You throw a screen to them, a tunnel screen. You can line them up in the slot. You can line them up at running back. Like,
and Mark Catch went back to, is it Tony Jones back in the day?
Tony Jones.
Catch made that comparison. I thought that was a pretty good one.
Wow. Tony Jones, a great one, man. Like he's got abilities like that. And that requires patience and timing and just know-how. And them guys, and they're small, and they sometimes those guys get lost. Like you just don't see them until they're blowing by you at 22 miles an hour.
Yeah. And
you're like, what? Okay, he's got it.
He's got that thing. And you were talking earlier about the gifts that you were given in terms of strength. That speed stuff, when you see it and it takes your breath away, Bolden's got that. And I'm going to tell you, Mark, Catch and I got to talk to him yesterday. That dude was awesome. He was a minute early. Catch told him to jump in at 20 after. He jumped in at 19 after. We commended him for being early, and the first words out of his mouth were, "If you're on time, you're late."
Wow.
That's the first thing he said.
Bro, you just made my heart beat fast.
I'm telling you, it was like if we weren't getting people into the Silas Bolden fan club yesterday, there was nothing we could do. It was impressive. And remember, Mark, and I know Bond went to Alabama, and people will focus on that. And you mentioned Golden. Both those guys had 2 years each at their school. Bolden's had 3 years at Oregon State, so he has the most experience. He led them in catches, yards, and touchdowns. He returned punts. He returned kicks. It's just the number of weapons in one guy there. I agree with you. I'm not sure. There's only a small list of dudes I think that will have ever worn the burnt orange that are going to be able to have that kind of you hope a resume when he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think another thing that guys, familiarity, the guys that are already there that are going to be better next year. Texas' entire running back core between Blue, I forget the young kid from Dallas, Trey, I think is.
Third. Wait, you're talking about
Wisner?
You're talking about you're not talking about Baxter.
No, Baxter is the big back. I was the Blue, Jaden Blue, and then the young kid that came from Dallas.
Hang on.
I'm sure the Texas fan base.
I get you. Who we not thinking of? Who we not thinking of, guys? Let us know. Wisner. Wisner from DeSoto. My bad. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like I thought his name was Trey Wisner.
Yeah, you're in. You got it.
Those 3 backs, not including who they brought in this year, them being more familiar and having another year with coach, and they're not going to turn the ball over. Texas went away from the run game in the bowl game, justifiably so. I understand they turned the ball over, and that's going to be something that they're going to be better at. I can see it being really, really uncomfortable for defenses when you don't know what to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And Sark is a brilliant play caller and has got a lot of confidence in his offensive scheme. And Dante Cook is going he's going to destroy some people this year.
Yeah.
Because he's had a year already to know where he's going. And like these guys, they're going to be a different team. And, I mean, I say a different team because you just have different players, but I think they'll be able to style the ball a little bit better this year than they did last year.